The Tale of Greek Mythology, a Sleep Story. Good evening. Close your eyes, let your breath slow down, and drift with me into a time before time, when the world was still dreaming of its first dawn. At the very beginning, there was no land, no sea, no sun nor moon. There was only an endless stillness, the ancient chaos. It was not chaos as we know it today, not noise or confusion, but a vast, silent void. It did not harm, nor heal. It simply was. From that quiet emptiness, the first shapes of existence arose. The earth called Gaia stretched herself wide and firm. Deep beneath her, a dark abyss formed, Tartarus, the shadowed depth where echoes never returned. Alongside them stirred a gentle force, Eros, the spark of desire, the pull that would make all things join and grow. Soon the sky appeared, Uranus, sweeping across Gaia like a cloak of stars. He became both her child and her companion, and together they brought forth the first mighty beings, the Titans. These were not yet gods as we know them, but ancient forces wearing the shapes of giants. There were 12 great Titans, 6 brothers and 6 sisters, each with their own strength. Some ruled the rivers and the seas, some carried the light, some guarded memory and law. From them, mountains rose, winds moved, and the early world began to take its shape. But not all of Gaia's children were fair to behold. From her depths came the Cyclopes, smiths with a single blazing eye, and the 100-handed ones, beings of monstrous power, with 50 heads and 100 arms each. Uranus, fearing their strength, forced them back into Gaia's womb, burying them deep within the earth. The weight of this betrayal pressed upon her, and so the earth began to plot. She fashioned a great sickle of sharp stone and sought one child brave enough to act. Only the youngest Titan, Cronus, answered her call. One night, as Uranus lay across the sky, Cronus struck him down, severing his power and casting his rule away. From the foam of Uranus's blood upon the sea, a new goddess arose, Aphrodite, radiant with beauty and desire. Cronus took the throne of the world, and for a while, a golden age began. Men lived without toil, the seasons were gentle, and no wars scarred the earth. Yet, like his father, Cronus feared the prophecy that he too would be cast down by his own child. One by one he swallowed his newborn children, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, hiding them in the darkness of his belly. But Rhea, his sister and wife, could not bear to lose them all. When her 6th child was born, she hid him away upon a distant mountain, and in his place she gave Cronus a swaddled stone. He swallowed it whole, never knowing he had been tricked. That child was Zeus. Raised in secret among nymphs and wild goats, Zeus grew strong, his cry echoing like the first thunder. When the time came, he returned with cunning, gave Cronus a bitter draught, and one by one his swallowed siblings were freed, grown and mighty, ready for war. Thus began the great battle, the Titanomachy, a war between the old gods and the new. For 10 years the earth trembled and the sky split with storms. Mountains were hurled, seas boiled, and the world was shaken to its roots. But with the help of the Cyclopes and the 100-handed ones, Zeus and his kin prevailed. The Titans were overthrown, cast into Tartarus, and the age of Olympus began. Zeus became the lord of the sky, ruler of storms and thunder. His brothers took their realms, Poseidon claimed the seas, Hades the underworld. The earth remained common to all, where gods might walk and mortals would one day rise. Upon Mount Olympus, the new gods built their bright court. Hera, queen of marriage; Demeter, keeper of the harvest; Hestia, guardian of the hearth; Athena, born from Zeus's mind with wisdom and war in her gaze; Apollo and Artemis, the twin lights of sun and moon; Ares, fierce with battle; Hephaestus, the smith; Hermes, the swift messenger; and Aphrodite, whose beauty stirred both love and ruin. But peace among gods is never still for long. From their unions and rivalries came heroes and trials that shaped the mortal world below. Prometheus, a titan who had sided with Zeus, shaped the first men from clay, and secretly gifted them fire, defying the king of gods. For this, he was chained to a lonely rock, his liver devoured each day by an eagle, only to grow back each night. Yet, from that stolen flame, mankind learned to cook, to craft, to speak, to dream. In those early ages, mortals lived through many eras, golden, silver, bronze, and at last iron, each one dimmer than the last. There were times of harmony and times of war, times when men were like gods, and times when gods turned away. Among mortals, heroes rose. Perseus, who cut the head of Medusa and freed Andromeda from the sea; Heracles, mightiest of them all, who bore 12 labors to atone for his sorrow and at last ascended as a god; Theseus, who walked into the twisting labyrinth and faced the Minotaur; Jason, who sailed with his companions to seize the Golden Fleece, only to find his triumph heavy with betrayal. Their stories, though fierce in battle, always curved toward fate, for in the world of gods, no hero escapes the turning of the wheel. And so, the throne of Olympus stood, bright above the clouds, the gods watching with all their pride and flaws, their loves and jealousies, their gifts and punishments. They ruled the sky, the seas, the shadowed realm of the dead, while the earth below became the stage for countless tales of courage, of longing, of dreams that outlived the flesh that dreamed them. Tonight, as you drift toward sleep, remember that in the oldest stories, the world was not built by kings alone, but by love and fear, by promises kept and broken, by storms that passed and seeds that endured. The gods may fade, the heroes may turn to dust, but their echoes still move in the stars above. And in the quiet of the night, they whisper their names. Rest now. The age of men is still young, and tomorrow the sky will open again. Good night, sweet dreams.